Hey guys, Illyus and Barrientos here. Today just going to talk you through our studio process of our new single on Toolroom Records called Zapata.
Can't wait, it's quite different as well, it's nice Miami ready vibe, but yeah, just see what you think. We're going to take you through the process and show you a little bit of tips and tricks for what we get up to.
So the way we kind of wanted to start this was really just on a bass line, so on another session, but I've replicated it here. Really wanted to get that feel of a real bass line, so we've got this really great plugin by Spectrasonics called Trillion. Just replicates everything, really. Has synth bass, electric bass, so what I did was whipped up a little bass line, but I recorded it far slower, so let's put it to 120, and this is what we wrote. Yeah, as you can hear, like a pretty different bass than what we would normally do.
And a good trick is as well is like sometimes like recording midis and sounds and things, like what we tend to do sometimes actually recording in way slower BPMs, and then just like simple with sampling, when you speed things up it will sound totally different, more energy, so it's quite a good trick. Just maybe just record things slower.
Anyway, you went away when I gave you that bass line, you went away and did a little bit of processing on it, like some amps, some distortion in it. This is kind of with the kick under it, this is what you kind of get.
And then the thought process then after that, like I wanted to do definitely just something like Afro influenced. Like I just thought, you've obviously got loads of Afro-house at the moment, but with us we like energy and we like vocals as well. And then so everything from that sort of genre, that sort of world is very like live instrument driven. So it was starting to then get drums together, things like, and just really natural sounding things, like where you've got bonk with some sort of percussion vibes. So really natural sounding. So if I put all the drums together, the Afro tops here, everything sounds like it's just natural, someone's playing it.
The real like element of like how loose the vibe is, and it is all just bass, like you said, from when you're trying to make natural sounds like the bass guitar.
Yeah, bassline.
And the bongos, they're all going to have an element of looseness to it, so it was about keeping the record not strict on it, you know, like, and I think you dug out a few of these samples, like the Afro tops and the percussion that were like supernatural sounding.
Yeah, and then also the trick with everything is, I think that's the biggest advice we could give you, is like you really know your genres, your sounds, what goes with what. It's like knowing what sounds marry up with other sounds, whether it be kicks and bass lines and percussion, and then also adding like some sort of like modern stuff to, like for instance a drone here, which is like kind of like a modern sort of synthy sound almost. Those create then energy, just like a little riser that's just so subtle.
I remember when you'd written when you had come back and you'd let me hear the drums that you'd written, the one critique that I'd had was that
oh yes,
I didn't feel it was housey enough.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So the OG one was when I heard it, I was like, I love it, but it still just lacks that little house music backbone. So then I think I just went and got something really simple, to be honest, off Splice.
Now before you play it though, you will hear, now this is the way we work. Someone will come in with something and go, oh, I didn't imagine that, but it really lifts it all of a sudden, and then it adds more energy to the record again. And I gave you credit. You can see here, like I called it Ivan Top, so I gave you the credit.
I think my favourite part of the track was the vocals that are on here.
Yeah.
I'd really like to talk about them.
So there's 3 separate vocals that we've got. So there's as you can see, there's there's vocal hits, there's the main male vocal, and there's this kind of, I've called it a female, but it's actually more of like children's playground chant sort of thing. And again, figuring out your sound, what goes with what. So it's from different sources, these vocals.
Akala puli tantelewa, sabadi membele bomba na Zapata le boy put the tampolewa. Tamana mama na zangalewa. Akala puli tantelewa, sabadi membele bomba na Zapata le boy put the tampolewa. Tamana mama na zangalewa. Akala puli tantelewa, sabadi membele bomba na Zapata le boy put the tampolewa. Tamana mama na zangalewa. Akala puli tantelewa, sabadi membele bomba na Zapata le boy put the tampolewa, polewa, 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 polewa.
Yeah, I think those vocals, like, again, just have that really kind of rawness to them that, I don't know, just give it this kind of weird energy to it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I love. That's what I really love about it. It's really unusual, and I think what a lot of people sort of, you know, at Toolroom spoke to us about this record was how different it sounds from us. It's not it's not really our conventional sound, so to speak. But I don't think it's like us following an Afro-house trend.
No, it's not, because it's got more energy to it all.
Yeah.
And then also, like, it's just making records that you're feeling at the time, like, rather than just constantly thinking, right, need to do a big record. Like, we wrote D.A.N.C.E last year, and that's a totally different record from this. But then also just the standard thing, like, you'll see that that little kid's vocal that creeps in, that you've got, it's just chops from that create the energy in the drop.
Yeah, let's hear it. What I think is important as well, just sorry to move away from the vocals, is actually just like the bass line is how, in some ways, little.
Yeah. You can see the process.
You can see the process. And I think this is what you've done to it. You've actually, you know, when you compare to what we'd played earlier that was written, you've really took the top end from it and you've really taken the low end off it, which is, I think, is quite brave.
Yeah, because obviously it's just a rhythmic thing in it, and then you're boosting in, I boosted in like sort of kind of harmonic areas because that's the growl you want to get out of. And if you think about a live musician doing this, like you want to feel that rawness of the actual, like the harmonics rather than the low end of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, just hearing that.
We'll still get on the keys.
I think finally, you know.
By the way, no doubt there'll be some kind of computer music geek tell me that we've done it wrong when it comes to processing.
Yeah, but it sounds good. I think I'd come in and tried the bass line with more sub, and I just didn't think it worked at all. But I think the final part, you know, and this is a really simple record. It is just groovy bass line with a real feel, vocals, some nice drums, and then the one thing I think that I thought was important that you added was actually the keys. It's normally something that I would add, but this is what you drove in this record.
I would say that everyone in music should think about call and response. So if I've got the vocal as a producer in the area that, like for instance, this area here where the vocal is, so that's the area where the vocal chops are, there's the vocal, that's an organ riser that came from one of these wee organ bits. But you've got the vocal here with energy, and then you need something when you take that out to take over, and that's when the keys come in. And as you can see, there's little chops in between them, and that's to create a different rhythmic pattern from the original keys you've kind of sampled, because you want to make it sound different.
Let's hear them. See, I'm glad that you found those, because I don't think as proficient as I am a keyboard, I'd never be able to play an organ that way.
Yeah, it's obviously
I
like
couldn't- I
it's
couldn't
quite
do that.
jazzy, isn't it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And a bit when obviously records can be quite simple. What like another advice we would give you is like I don't come from making music or playing instruments, and I kind of then started to teach myself how would a band construct things. So you've got a drummer, you've got some sort of like bass player, maybe like a guy that plays guitar, maybe a guy that plays the keys. So then that's like 4 or 5 elements. So is there really much more than that in music? There isn't really. So that's kind of the way I think about making music, and definitely Ivan does as well. Like we do keep things quite simple, and
Yeah.
this is a tune.
You know, I mean, when you look at, again, it is actually probably one of the more simpler things that we've ever written. But you know, going from breakdown into drop, that's kind of largely it, and a lot
Yeah.
of it's just like structuring it in a really good way.
Akala puli tantelewa, sabani membele bamba nama Zapata le boy put the tempolewa. Tamana mama na sangalewa, akala puli tantelewa, sabani membele bamba nama Zapata le boy put the tempolewa, polewa, 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 polewa.
That's pretty much it.
And that's it. You know, we didn't want to dive too much into it, but I think it's important to show everyone like just the sort of basics of, you know, drums, bass, vocal. Like
Yeah.
you said, like a band would do. It does feel like almost like a band.
Yeah, put this together basically, and then you work out your transitional bits sort of thing, which is obviously more in depth. But other than that, there's no much more to making a good record, I suppose.
And that's us, and I think that's it for now.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Short and sweet, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you like the single.
Catch you
Cheers.
soon.